say something? This is Jimmy Ige.
Jimmy.
He is one of the Sons of the Rising Suns, which was one of my favorite junior fuel cars. Well, because you can do just fine.
You probably have a story that you can just share with us.
Do you have anything about that you knew about Donovan, or
And
something he
to me,
did that
I think
that
running a
endeared you to him? A fond memory.
We ran a Donovan, and the first week we ran it, it blew up. It spit a rod out, but the block was good. We got another crank, another pan, and we put another. The following week, we ran the thing again. It was
that was at the beginning when you could actually bring them back.
Yeah.
Because that was what the block was all about, the 417.
We put a crank back in it, and it spun, and everything was good.
In fact, I've got a great picture of their car. We'll go in and you can take a picture of that hanging on the wall.
Sounds great.
Yeah.
Thank you,
It was a
Jimmy.
pretty motor.
No, they really were.
Thank you, Jimmy.
Why don't you give it to Mr. Prieto over there, and we'll see what he has to say. If he
Your
has
turn,
Say
Don.
a few words about Mr. Donovan. No words are necessary.
What do you want to know about Donovan?
Just give me a story.
Pachyderm.
Pachyderm.
I came down here one night, about 1970, I guess, in my Nomad. And he was all by himself wandering around the shop. And I said, Donovan, let's go have a bite. So I claim that I said that to him first before he said it to everybody else in the entire country. And so we did. We went to an Italian steakhouse on Calamare. I forget just what the name of it was. Filipinos or something like that.
That's probably about right. When I went there, we got out and they changed it, I think, over to a Mexican restaurant.
Right.
We went, to the Italian.
Exactly.
You know?
We used to go there, and then if I was in the neighborhood for lunch, we'd go to the Palm, which was over here on Torrance Boulevard, which has been 3 different Jap restaurants since then.
Of course.
We always swore that Donovan owned stock in that. He used to go there so much.
As a matter of fact, and we sat at the same table all the time. And I had more fun with Donovan than most other living human beings.
Oh, yeah.
He was his own man. Whenever you talked to him, he kind of was thinking about what the hell you were saying. Strange duck, but genuine. Give you the J.C. Penney shirt off his back. He wore the same clothes all the time. He was a kick. And,
he kept a lot of drag racers afloat when they hit hard times.
Yeah. He helped Madden and I quite a few times. And when I got into with Cagle was kind of on the other side of the fence with Donovan. I don't think Donovan thought much of Cagle. But that's another story.
That's a Waymaker story.
Anyway, I enjoyed my time with Donovan, and it was just me and him. And he was a real first-class guy.
Excellent.
I have fond memories of Donovan.
We really do miss.
Oh, man. Yeah. The 2 guys I missed the most are Donovan and Baney.
Good stories.
Because they had character. Baney was full of shit as a Christmas turkey, and so was Donovan. But they kept you entertained. It was really a pleasure to know both of them.
Excellent.
All right.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Let's take a walk over, and we'll take a sort of a walk back, really to the beginning.
Okay, I'm ready.
We're walking over now, and this is Norm Woodruff and Don Weber. Now, I'm going to get to them before they can either run off. Now we're talking about Donovan's first employee.
Really? Oh.
And we're talking about one of his earliest friends.
Ed Donovan and I, we
Hold this right here and let it rip.
Ed Donovan and I, we grew up together as kids, and he lived on High Point, and I lived on Curson, right off of Pico Boulevard, and I worked for Jack Hand, Bud Hand's father. But Ed and I, we were 13 years old, and I got into the hot rod parts business, which I didn't know anything about too much. I'd go in back of his house, and I'd start porting and relieving V8s and so forth like that, and then we started. I had a little midget Model T in front of his house, and we got thrown in jail together. I was driving down Pico Boulevard, and I had another guy in my real quick story.
Sure,
and we're driving down Pico Boulevard, and this thing steered the wrong way, and a lady, we went around the corner, and a lady, she almost went up on the curb, and there happened to be a cop in a three-wheel Harley Davidson, and she said, "Go get him, go get him." And so he came up on the right-hand side of me, and my Model T turned to the right. He was on the right-hand side, and he went over the curb into a big tree, and he got out, and he was an Irishman. He says, "You're trying to kill me. You're trying to kill me." And anyway, to make a story short, Ed was right there. He saw it happening. He came walking down. He's just on the curb smiling at me, and anyway. The one lady in the house says, "That man tried to run over my daughter a year ago. That was it. They took us to jail." Okay. It so happened that his uncle was he was the chief of detectives in downtown L.A. And they took us to Wilshire Station, and anyway. But Ed and I, we grew up together, and we had cars and parts, and my mother would cook for the both of us, and we went to Louis Pasteur Junior High School, and then we went to Hamilton High School, and then he parted ways and came to down here. But we really grew up together and did a lot of good things. Never got in any real trouble, and he was a smart guy,
That's the kind of thing that we
I grew up. We both belonged to the Bungholers at one time, and then it became. God, what did we finally name that thing? It's been so long ago, But we used to go to we didn't go to SCTA. Went to Rosetta Timing up in Harper's Dry Lake, and his dad, he had a Model T. Ed did with a flathead in it, a Winfield flathead.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he had that, and I had a four-cylinder Model B with a Krager head on it, and I was up there. He was with me, and I blew the rod right out the side of the block, and they had to tow us all home. But his dad used to go with us. His dad was a great guy, and his mother, and I knew him very, very well. And anyway, he came down here after he went to school, I think, in Gardena, and we kind of parted ways a little bit. Then he started this. He really started in his house with his mother up in Lamert Park, or right near there, and he took a lathe all apart and put it down into the cellar, and that's where he really started,
Interesting.
Yeah, really, really interesting guy, smart as a whip, and
you were happy to know him, right?
Oh gosh, yes, I'll tell you, he was.
And his parents had a lot to do with that too, right?
Yes, they did. His dad died young. He died very young, but anyway. Is there anything you want to ask me?
No, I think that's you've covered an awful lot, and that was the beginning, and that's important.
That was the beginning. We used to drag race on the streets too.
Sure.
We would come out here in La Tierra, wherever that is, out by the airport. Yeah, it was a divided little road, and we'd go to Simon's Drive-In in Beverly Hills, and then we went to the other drive-in down here, and we'd get all the roadsters, and they'd all come in there. It was during the war now, World War II, and we'd get them all to follow us. We'd go out to La Tierra, and we'd start drag racing. Pretty soon the cops would come, and we'd scatter,
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Then we used to go out north on North Sepulveda. There was a dam out there, and we'd go going out there. We'd drag race out there. We'd take all the roadsters from Simon's Drive-In, go over to Sepulveda, over the hill, and go drag race out there at night. This is around midnight. So And one night they were smart. The cops got at the other end, they got to the south end, and they came and they zeroed in on us, and they took us all to the jail down in Van Nuys, you know. Kept us there for 2 or 3 hours, and we got out, you know. We were about 16 then, maybe.
Yeah.
17 at the most, you know.
What a great time that was.
Oh, we had great times, you know. And he got into this, and I'm just amazed. I came here, I've been here in about 10 years, say 10 years. I'm absolutely amazed, overwhelmed at what Kathy and Woody have done here. If Ed could only look down and see what
I'm sure he is.
I'm telling you, he would be so happy. And I think he was inducted into the Hall of Fame.
Right.
I'm not. He did very, very well. And that's about all I can say.
Thank you very much.
See you later.
Excellent.
Have a good day.